Say goodbye to your train of thought.
And hello to Weekend Tangents.
Okay, today we're going to be talking about robots and artificial intelligence.
Yeah, the
Fun.
terrifying implications therein and the moral implications, because I'm sure by the end of this video I'll have a reason that we should destroy them all. So, an interesting thing that you may or may not have heard of, if you watched the Game Theorists, then you probably saw this video at least. We'll leave a link in the description.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll leave a link down in the description to that video. But a group of Japanese scientists came together with SoftBank, I think it's called. SoftBank and I don't know how to say it. Aldebaran.
I don't know.
And they created a robot named Pepper. You can actually purchase your own for a measly $2,000, which is
It's actually quite cheap for a robot.
Surprising.
For such a sophisticated robot.
And Pepper is a humanoid robot capable of
simulating human emotions.
It's terrifying. I can't get it out of my head. Okay.
It's not scary to me though.
It's very scary. He's dumb.
I'm
He's
not
in robot.
dumb.
He's in Robot Fight Club. He's training to kill robots, which is why he's not scared.
Wow. Okay. I guess technically.
Anyway, Pepper will become sad if you ignore it. It'll become happy if something awesome happens. It gets angry, I assume.
I don't know if they have anger programmed into it.
I should hope
If they
not.
do, that's not good.
I should hope they don't. You can download apps to play games with it. You can download other languages
and more emotions. The code for this robot is open source, so anybody can get the code and make their own robot with it.
I don't know why. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that's the only scary part about it. Like, you made it to where anybody can get emotions for a robot. That's not a good thing. There are some angry people out there.
I would like to point out the fact this thing, that Pepper, who is actually a male, by the way, apparently, according to the Aldebaran website. Aldebaran
it says
website.
He is.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It has knowledge about the Terminators. I realize it's not a hard reference to come by. It's a very large movie franchise, but they did some huge thing, I guess, where they were like introducing Pepper to the public, and Pepper was like, "Yeah, I'm sad because everyone thinks we're gonna be like the Terminators and kill everybody, and they're gonna be like the Terminators and kill everybody because it's an emotion bot that knows what the Terminators are enough to make a reference to the Terminators." It's just, I mean.
So basically, this robot is made to be a companion. So it's mainly aimed at the Japanese market because, as some of you may know, Japanese people are always very busy and they never have time for relationships and stuff.
The Japanese society is a very busy. It's definitely focused more on self-improvement as opposed to maybe having a meaningful relationship. It sounds weird when I say it like that. It's not. This isn't a jab at the Japanese society. No. It's just that's how it is.
A lot of them have jobs that take up so much of their time that they don't have time for going out and finding a partner. So that's why things like dating simulators and stuff are so popular there.
Yeah, so the Pepperbot was definitely made for the Japanese society.
It was made for a good reason as well.
Yeah.
But it does have emotions, which is
it has flaws, not strictly in its programming, not in its design. It has flaws in the fact that it was made in the first place. It's kind of it's an odd thing to think about. It's very. A lot of it comes down weirdly to. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, okay, so Oh, and I noticed on the website right here, they mention a robot that I've been loving for a long time. It's called Nao, Nao. It's something I found out about years ago. It's a robot that it's like a little tiny little humanoid robot, real tiny, like this big maybe. Extremely expensive, like extremely expensive. But he can learn extremely well. He can teach little kids. He can do pretty much anything. He can walk on his own. He can right himself when he falls over. He's extremely intelligent.
Does he have emotions?
He does not have emotions as far as I know. But
This is
now
terrifying.
that
Now that
Pepper
they-
was made.
Are they going to make a Pepper Now?
Pepper now.
Pepper Now. Pepper Now.
That would
I'd
be
call
interesting.
it Salt. I'd call it Salt just because, I mean, they already have Pepper. Might as well. That's terrifying.
Hold on. Why is Pepper white?
Also, why you gotta bring that in here? Come on.
What?
Why you gotta bring that up? Anyway,
What? It's a white robot.
it is a white robot. That's weird. Anyway,
that's actually something I noticed when I was watching the video. Is it has the same face, like head's shape as Now. So I'm like, hold on, that looks like a robot I know about. And then when we got on the website, I saw it mentioned in the right hand. I'm like, oh, did they help make Now? I didn't know that. That was if you look at Now, he is extremely advanced in his artificial intelligence. And then, of course, there's Pepper, who's extremely advanced in recognizing and simulating human emotions.
and open source.
I'm not sure if Now is open source.
Doesn't matter. You want to know why it doesn't matter? Because now can go and download the freaking open source from Pepper. It's a conspiracy. Terminators are rising up. Everybody get your guns and get ready to just blow up some robots. Have fun.
I don't think this is a threat.
I don't think this is a threat, but I love making jokes about how this is a threat. Also, it's kind of a threat because Terminators. Like, have you seen those movies?
Yes, I've seen the Terminator movies.
I haven't seen the new one.
I haven't either. I don't care to see it.
I want to just because Schwarzenegger. But I
Well,
love Schwarzenegger. He's awesome.
yeah. So
Get to the chopper. That was the worst impression I've ever
Now
done in my life.
is programmable. Like if you buy him, you can get software to program him.
Give him emotions and watch as he gets very sad because you forgot to feed him or something, even though he's a robot. You forgot to plug him in for too long or whatever, so he gets all sad, and then he uses his mind and he just like kills everyone. He hacks in and gets, I don't know, like nuclear launch codes. I really hope that they didn't make a robot capable of hacking into government facilities and getting nuclear launch codes. I would be very upset.
Okay, so if emotional robots
Nobody get the thing just to try and see if you can get nuclear launch codes.
Became-
Nobody do that. It's bad.
if an emotional robot became like a household thing, like
Emotion
everywhere,
bot.
basically.
It's emotion bot. The shorthand for it is emotion bot.
Anyways.
Not emotion robot, sir.
Anyways, if it became a household like common thing, what do you think would be a way of like preventing stuff like that from happening, like Terminator stuff?
Have you seen iRobot?
No.
I got this. We'll be flashing something on screen real fast. Let me go get the thing. In iRobot is a Will Smith movie, and oops, I totally forgot the thing. Rules. 3 Laws of Robotics. There you go. iRobot is a Will Smith movie, which is kind of a weird thing for me to say because the entire movie is about how uprising and stuff. Oh, apparently it was not just a Will Smith movie. I didn't know. Oh, it's also a book. Okay, that's where it came from. Anyway, and there are 3 rules that are programmed into every robot because robots have become a very common thing where everybody has a robot and robots are kind of just there to help everybody out. They're very nice people. They do all this stuff. And it's kind of, the movie is basically like, there's kind of a weird robot uprising thanks to an AI that takes the three laws of robotics and turns it into something else. It's weird. But every robot is programmed with these 3 very specific rules. And they go in order where the first law is the most important, the second law is the second most, and the third law is the third most. The 3 laws are: a robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. The second law: a robot must obey the orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. And third, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. So it's kind of like do 3 as long as it doesn't conflict with 1 or whatever. You see what I'm saying. 1 takes precedence over 2 and 3. 2 takes precedence over 3. 3 takes precedence over nothing. But it's an interesting thing. And that would probably be a way that you could stop a Terminator-like uprising, but then you still have the iRobot problem uprising, where, interesting little thing here, in the movie, and I'm assuming the book as well, there's this uprising, and it works because an AI has convinced itself that humans are the largest, are the leading cause of death in humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
Warfare, that kind of stuff. And so the only way to protect humans, to follow the first law, is to break the first law and force everyone to stay separate and obey robotic law, because the robotic law would protect all humans. So the 3 laws are still held. It's weird. AI is smart. It's terrifying. Anyway,
It's like his logic.
it's exactly this is my logic. So, you know.
Hold on.
Okay, I'm holding. Can I stop holding?
Go ahead.
Okay. So, I don't know. It's kind of it's an interesting concept, a household robot. So, up until I feel like the only way to stop robots, which are clearly superior to humans, that's not a question, because a robot is designed to last. A robot is, whatever its task is, it is designed to be the best at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you have a robot that is designed to mine a hole through a mountain, and you have a person who's designed to but a person who's supposed to mine a hole through a mountain, the robot will get it done faster and more efficiently because it is designed for that task. So the only way to stop robots, the clearly superior being, from taking over, from following the laws of nature, is to inhibit them. And the only way to do that is not to create an AI. You can't create AI, because AI would lead to fixing programming or finding ways around programming to immediately take over. Why am I the only one talking here?
Because I was about to mention something, but you're still ranting.
Go ahead.
Anyways,
Did you call me ranting? Did you say I was ranting, sir? I was ranting.
Basically,
I was ranting.
Okay, so, what do you think would happen if someone who does, like, there's going to be people who don't care and won't follow laws. Like, if people try to do that, there are going to be people who don't care about that and don't want to follow that. They won't program that into their robot.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Exactly.
But see, that's
eventually someone is going to make a Dalek. Basically.
Daleks aren't robots. Daleks are cyborgs.
Yes, but it's going to essentially be a Dalek, where the only emotion they know is hate.
I suppose.
Hate towards everything.
I mean, a way to stop that would be, don't give individuals the capability.
Well, people are going to get that no matter what. Like, if you look at it, everything is available everywhere. Like, no matter how much people try, they cannot prevent people from torrenting games or movies or stuff like that. People can get almost anything they want. And if
I know something
emotional robots,
they can't get nuclear launch codes. So we protect
but
our robot programming
hold
the
on.
same way we protect our nuclear launch codes.
Nuclear launch codes aren't a household thing, though. If emotional robots became a household thing, then anybody could get their hands on the code. And they could make their own robot.
True. See, that's the problem.
Okay, so what would you think about using robots instead of human soldiers?
I was really hoping we could avoid this topic.
Wow.
Is it weird to say I think it's a bad idea?
Not necessarily.
I think it's a bad idea because Okay, look at it this way. Okay, a human soldier, if you decimate an army of humans, the war is over. If you decimate an army of robots, it's not over because they'll be back tomorrow. Basically, it would stop.
War would continue on forever, but no one would die.
Yes, no one would die until one army gets pushed far enough back that now they're in civilian areas, and then civilians have to get back until eventually, it's like, okay. Let me throw this at you, all right? How many wars have been fought on U.S. soil?
One.
More than one.
I mean, I can think of at least two.
Yeah, I can think of two. Nope, I can think of three.
We have the Mexican-American War.
That's four.
Four.
I can think of four.
The Revolutionary War, the French and Indian War, the Civil War, and Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor.
That's five.
Yeah, okay.
That's five for me.
I'll accept those.
Anyways,
All right, so now let's look in history. Other than people who are deployed, how many people have died in war? How many Americans have died in war that aren't part of those wars that were fought on U.S. soil or attacks? That very few. Thank you. Very few people have died. Very few Americans have died if they weren't deployed because those attacks weren't on U.S. soil. Those attacks weren't near the U.S. population. But when you have two unstoppable robot armies, right? Doesn't matter if they're unstoppable or not. Eventually, one of them will be pushed back enough because that's the way a battle goes. It's not one-sided completely. You can see the underdog win. Throughout history, it happens all the time. An army a third the size of the other one can win.
it's a battle between quantity and quality, like usual. Quality being the programming and the materials used to make the robot. Quantity being how many robots there are, which doesn't matter too much as long as the AI is good. And the problem I have with that is they would start forcing computer scientists to work for the army.
That too.
And that, of course, I don't like that because I am a computer scientist.
An aspiring one, anyway.
I still technically am. I mean,
yeah,
I
got
things.
it. Okay, but you see that's part of the problem. But another part of the problem is the fact that eventually one of those armies will lose ground. Eventually, wherever the war is taking place will be near civilians, will be near humans. And you have an unstoppable army because that army, you can decimate it one day and it will come back very quickly because you can... You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The problem lies in that when you have an army that can't be beaten, eventually there will be casualties. No matter, so the goal of using robot soldiers is to prevent human death, right? Mm-hmm. But in doing so, you prolong the time period, the time frame of the war. You also prolong the time frame of how long before there are human casualties. But once you hit the end of that time frame, the war's still going on, and there will be human casualties, and the human casualties will be far more numerous than otherwise. It's the same flaw as immortality, okay? Once you're immortal, the chances of you becoming trapped, we'll call it trapped, it's not really the word I'm looking for, but it's kind of like this, all right? If you're an immortal, right, you live for all time, so the chances of something happening to you that would permanently cripple your capabilities of doing something immediately jumps to 100% because you have all of time to fight that, basically. Eventually, no matter what, something will happen. You will get your leg caught in a bear trap in the middle of the woods that you can't get out of, even though that's...
That would be horrible.
Yeah, all right? Because you're stuck there for all time.
Okay, so if they did start using robots to fight wars for humans, do you think that would completely eliminate the use for human soldiers?
No, it wouldn't.
Okay, how do you think human soldiers would have a part in the war?
Kind of, I guess soldiers wouldn't be the term I use because it really would be It would be individuals who are sent into the field for quick repairs, if that makes any sense, and for hacking and that hacking is probably not accurate either because you can get a robot to do it. You see what I'm saying?
But you can have a robot to repair other robots.
Yeah, it takes out a large portion, but I'm sure at least immediately, if it happened today, human soldiers would still be around because the Terminator movies, basically, right? Humans won't trust robots, at least not for a long time. So for now, or for the next 100 years, or for the next 200 years, there would still be human soldiers there to do those things that we wouldn't trust robots to do. Once we trusted robots enough, yes, human soldiers would probably be gone.
Once we trusted human soldiers enough, I still think
robot soldiers enough.
Yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. Anyways, once I even then, I think there would still be use for human operatives. They would send people to assassinate the people who write the code.
That too.
There would be a lot of that. There would be a lot of stuff.
You could send a robot. Well, no, because then they could just set up EMP, and then okay, so yeah, I got you.
There would still be a use for human soldiers.
Can I put my input on this?
Sure.
Go ahead.
There's things that humans can do, but robots won't ever be able to do.
Like what?
Well, I mean, there's stuff like most time robots won't completely be able to think for themselves. Like,
yeah, it's
you got to think about that.
It's the same problem that I have with it.
Robots are programmed to do one thing. If it's kill, okay, they're gonna kill. What if you don't want to kill them? Like, what if you're in a situation where you're sitting there, okay, don't just kill all of them. You're gonna think about and plan it out. Maybe use it as leverage against somebody else. The robots are just programmed to kill.
Not necessarily.
I mean, there's a problem. I get what he's saying. It comes down to you have to have an AI sophisticated enough to understand rational thought. But if you create that AI, at what point do you stop improving it?
Once they start thinking for themselves, they're gonna think, "Hey, I can overthrow these puny little humans." Bang, bang.
Because robots they're strictly better than. It's the same point I made earlier. Robots are strictly better than humans.
Okay, so I believe that it is completely impossible to give a robot a complete conscience through programming.
But they don't need a complete conscience. They just need enough rational thought.
Yeah, they don't need feelings.
They won't have.
They do have feelings. They made this whole video.
This is based on a robot that has feelings that was made in Japan.
Yeah,
there are people walking across our yard.
It's weird. It's awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's terrifying a little bit. Anyway.
Anyways, so I think we're gonna.
Corey and Lily.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we're gonna have to end the video. This has gone 22 minutes. So.
Yeah, we'll be editing out a couple minutes of it.
No, we'll probably keep the whole thing. Anyways, so that's it for today, I guess.
Yep. See you next week on the Weekend Tangents.
Also, that was my brother. Bye. See ya.